If you're like me and you're too sentimental to get rid of your first guitar ever, or I guess really any of your guitars, then you probably have some sort of monstrosity like this laying around your place collecting dust too. Like a lot of people, my first guitar, pretty basic entry-level Squier Strat with, you know, cheap hardware and all that. You know, after a while, you get new guitars that are way better. This one kind of just falls to the wayside. I'm not gonna get rid of it, but it's also just sitting around rent-free, taking up space, which I can't have, so I kind of want to put this bad boy back to work. That means getting rid of this disgusting pseudo Kirk Hammett demonology wannabe paint job and replacing this cheap hardware with something a little better. So what I got today from our friends over at StewMac is some new nitrocellulose guitar lacquer, which we're going to completely repaint this guitar with, and the Squier Stratocaster hardware upgrade kit. So this includes locking tuners, upgraded string tree, and new saddles. So pretty excited about that. One of my biggest gripes with this guitar is the way it feels. It honestly doesn't sound too bad, but feel is a big part of it as well. So it's also coming out of tune all the time. So if I plan to use it in anything from here on, I can't have it coming out of tune every 2 minutes. And again, it's a pretty big investment for a guitar that's probably only worth 50 bucks. All these upgrade parts are worth way more than the cost of the guitar, probably like 200 or 300 bucks in total. But you know, it's two reasons. One, if you're not going to get rid of the guitar, it's kind of a fun project to do with it. And we're going to throw in a cool little custom paintwork, and it'll be fun to do. Yeah, I have a vision in my head of how I want it to look and feel and play. And you know, this might turn out pretty terribly, but I'll never know unless you try, and I think we'll have some fun along the way. And it'll help you get really familiar with your instrument, how to set it up and play exactly the way you want it to. And if that all goes well, I didn't plan to get new pickups or electronics or anything like that, but if it plays really well and the paint job comes out nice, might be something I look into in the future. But anyways, let's start with this and see how it goes. I hope this doesn't turn out to be a total disaster. So it looks like I'm finally starting to get down to the wood here. So there's actually a very thin layer of paint with a really thick layer of, or multiple layers of clear coat. But chipping away at it, it's a pretty tedious process. This is actually like the third coat of paint remover I've used. And another note on the paint thinner, make sure you actually get one that says it will remove polyurethane. This stuff is extremely durable. We're making progress. It's nice to finally see the wood after lots and lots of scraping, but we're getting there, so time to keep going. I vastly underestimated the amount of time and muscle it would take to sand this whole thing down by hand. But it's nice to see some progress being made. Pretty much done with this side, which is nice. Now just for this monstrosity, and then the sides of this are going to be a huge bitch, but at least we're making progress, just got to power through it. Alright, and we are finally done with this bad boy. I think it looks pretty great. Not as good as I wanted it to turn out. And again, the paint is still very heavily orange peeled. I'm gonna let the nitro cure a little bit more before I sand it down and get it to a nicer finish. But the color turned out not bad. The hardware looks great, feels great. It does feel like a new guitar, even though it doesn't sound like a new one. Obviously the pickups are still the same. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy that I was able to get everything back together and working. I was kind of worried I would have messed up the electronics, but it actually worked out first time. Kind of surprised by that, so that's cool. So yeah, let's intonation is set. I'm all in tune now, so let's get this thing broken in a little bit. See how it sounds.
Bye.